Obviously, huge game for Rangers as well. Plenty of comments coming in on that too. Barzuno simply says a draw is a disaster for Rangers. And this one as well from... Oh, this one actually from Dennis says, Michael, Rangers defence on Saturday will be totally different to the Alava game. Tav, Suter, Cornelius and Magoma. And Mark says, if Rangers lose and Celtic win, God help Russell Martin, the fans will revolt. It is absolutely massive for Russell Martin. I know he got through to the international break, but it's not really got much pressure off him, is he?
No, listen, you're kind of low to say must win at this stage. I mean, it's still only September, but after starting the season, I mean, the gap's already there at 6 points to Hearts and Celtic. If they go 9 points behind Hearts on this stage, if Hearts can get a result, I mean, the pressure is going to be off the scale. So he does need to get a win. So there's going to be some new faces. What I would say, Rangers, a lot of guys that have been away on international duty have had a good experience of it. I mean, you look at the boys in Norway, as Asgard scoring 4 goals, was it?
Yeah.
Cornelius scored an absolute belter, a free kick for Canada. I've seen that one. So there's a few guys that are coming back, probably feeling quite good. So that might be the wee break might have done something good, I think. But it just remains to be seen. It's all got to gel very, very quickly for Rangers. We haven't seen that yet. There's been, when I say the performances in the league so far have been pretty woeful. It's got to click. I mean, I think this is one that I think just get any kind of win. Performance secondary, result first, and then give the manager a bit of breathing space and something to build on. Because otherwise, even a draw, I think would be another problem. And then obviously they've got the cup the following week with Hibs.
Sure, another huge game now.
So it's a really, really, really kind of difficult and important time. If Russell Martin can come through these 2 games with 2 wins, the world's a different looking place. The garden's all rosy again for the time being. If he doesn't, it's going to be the other extreme. The Rangers fans haven't really been sold. They didn't particularly want them in the first place. They've been kind of proved right since then. I still think he needs a bit of time. I think the European exit was horrific. One of those kind of so damaging, that kind of result. But they did get through the Celtic game with a bit of kind of dignity intact. And I think now it's trying to build and progress. But it's as close to a must-win as it gets, I think.
Well, I mean, in the comments, and again, if you're watching, get involved in the conversation. No trophies in the comments says 5 games in, he needs more time. But Peter writes in saying Saturday's game with Hearts this early in the season is a must-win. Russell Martin's put so much pressure on it. If Hearts were to win, it wouldn't be down to McInnes's managerial prowess. There you go. But Martin being inept. We said in the show last night, Mick, or Keith Jackson rather, said that if Rangers fail to win, even a draw, it could be the end of Martin at Rangers and potentially Kevin Thelwell as well. If that comes about, are Rangers really going to sack a guy 5 games into a season?
Well, you look at the comments from Thelwell a couple of weeks ago now. I mean, the full backing behind the manager. Listen, I get that's very that can be quite fleeting. I mean, we've had this the old vote of confidence thing, isn't it? It used to be the old cliche in sport. You get the chairman gives a vote of confidence, and you pack your bags the next day sometimes. So it is results dependent. So yeah, I think the pressure would be. I think it is. I think he does need a bit of time, but like I say, there wasn't much leeway given when he came in, and they've not been proved. There's nothing to show to prove to the contrary yet. So another damaging result would have a major effect. And I know that I'm contradicting myself a wee bit. I don't think that the manager, despite those comments from Thelwell, I don't think he is bomb-proof. Because I mean, we've seen in the past that the 49ers and American owners can make quick decisions or influence quick decisions. Like we saw at Leeds when they were kind of the minority shareholders. There was an influence there as well when Garcia get emptied after about 12 games.
Yeah.
After a bit of a kind of dispute over the Jesse Marsh departure, I think it was. Yeah. But then obviously before they took full charge after that anyway. But I just think, at some point, the punters need to see something. They need to see a spark of life in this Rangers team. So there's a lot of new faces, a lot of guys coming back. They've had a chance to hit the reset button, and now it's time to kick on.
In the comments, as you can see there, Ian says Rangers must win 100%. Mark says, with the Rangers players doing so in an international duty, what does it say about Russell Martin coaching and tactics if they don't win again? Scott in Berlin says, no way are they firing them. The 49ers and Red Bull deal will be our league winning dream come true. Craig Rowan, a Hearts fan, says, if Hearts actually break their Ibrox hoodoo, I believe we can do something this season. Craigie reminds me Daniel Ten Hag gets sacked after 2 weeks. But John says they can't keep sacking managers, though. And that's where I was coming from, Mick. Like, I get it's been a million miles from where Rangers fans want it. But 5 league games, you're really going to bin someone off after 5 league games? Where he hasn't lost yet? I know he's not won, but
listen, see this excuse they can't keep sacking managers. That doesn't wash. When it's like, I think I said that on one of the other shows. It's the old Japanese proverb: if you get on the wrong train, you have to go off at the first available station, because otherwise the turn trip costs too much money. So it doesn't hold that kind of. Well, you just can't see. So we just stuck with a guy who's not performing because he can't keep sacking managers. That's a kind of. It's one of the great fallacies in football. Like you can quite clearly sack managers, and a lot of clubs do. Some of them very quickly. But I do think he needs a wee bit more time. With so many new faces that have come in, it was always going to be a bumpy ride at first. Maybe not quite as bumpy. I still think that Rangers should have enough to beat the teams they've played so far. Because listen, the start they had in the league up to the Celtic game, I don't think it was a particularly, I'm not saying particularly difficult start, but it could have been harder. And they kind of made a mess of it. So it's put them under a lot of pressure. There should be enough quality in that team to deal with these kind of sides in the league, and even Hearts as well. And for all, I think Hearts have had a good start. They've had a few results that they've sneaked either way. Last minute goals against United and against Livy. They've kind of pulled a few results out the hat. I saw them at St Mirren in the cup, and they were pretty poor that day. They had a really bad first half, and they slightly better beyond that, but not great. Mm-hmm. And they're also early stages of a kind of a new revolution as well. It's just they're going to provide a really stiff test. Rangers should have enough to beat Hearts, and if they don't, there's going to be hell to pay. It's as simple as that.
And we've got, I put a picture up earlier, but Derek McInnes is the Premiership Manager of the Month. Mm-hmm. A lot of people might be saying that this is his audition to the 49ers to become Russell Martin's replacement, and I know Hearts fans will loathe me saying that. But it doesn't seem that far-fetched to me, Mick. I don't know what you think.
No, but I think we need to let Derek McInnes do. He's got a good job at Hearts. I think people need to let him get on with his job. I mean, I think that's never going to go away. And I bet if he keeps doing well at Hearts, it's going to be hanging over Ibrox as well, because if it's not going well at Rangers. But I think he's just got to let him get on with it. It's very early days at Hearts. I mean, we're only 4 games in. I think he needs time to build a consistent period of decent success at Hearts. I think he will. But yeah, it's always going to be there, isn't it? It's just slightly unfortunate, but I would be more inclined to let him go on with a big job.
Aye. Gary in the comments just before we round off on Rangers points out, makes a good point. If Nico Raskin isn't back in the team, this will spark some atmosphere in Ibrox on Saturday. We had the story, Record Sport Online today, that apparently there has been talks. He's been welcomed back into the fold. That can only be a good thing, can't it? I mean, arguably their best players last season.
Yeah, but this is a situation that's going to be awkward. I mean, because the start of the season, Raskin's been moved out of his normal position, really, kind of like a slightly wider kind of role, hasn't he? Not working great, not being in the team. Listen, he's completely out of the squad, and against Celtic, looked as though he'd been. I must admit, I was surprised that he's coming back. I thought that would be it. Mm-hmm. For other reasons, that whether the right bids haven't come in or the right options that he fancies haven't come in, so he's coming back, and they're going to need to make peace with the manager. He's going to need to fall in line with the manager. He might not get on with Russell Martin. He might not rate him, but he's the manager, and if he's going to be playing, he's going to have to fall in line. And listen, we've seen this time last year, Philip Clement wasn't picking him. We heard Neil McCann saying that he's a handful, question everything. A bit of a pain in the backside, it sounds like.